And joining us tonight by phone, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. Mr. Secretary, good to have you with us. I want to say straightforwardly, if I may, what you have done, working with the Federal Reserve, running your department, the SBA, has been nothing less than extraordinary. Congratulations in getting this loan program up so quickly and preparing to get those checks and monies out to so many millions of Americans who now are in desperate need. With that, let me ask you this question. We heard from a number of large money center banks that they wouldn't be ready. Bank of America at the forefront, they were ready. JP Morgan Chase, did they make it?
Well, Lou, first of all, thank you. It's great to be with you. I mean, let me just say, a week ago, we announced that we were going to create an entire new loan program with the SBA so that we could get up and running this Paycheck Protection Program quickly. We needed to make sure we put money into the pockets of small business quickly. This was going to do no good if we waited 3 or 4 months. Earlier in the week, banks were very concerned. We made changes. I was very excited this morning. The first banks that made the loans at 8:30 this morning were the community banks. As you said, we had over 800 banks participate today, mostly community banks. So we couldn't be more excited. And by the way, I know there's a lot of hardworking small businesses that couldn't get their applications processed this week. They shouldn't worry about it. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of money left. And this is a great opportunity for small businesses to make sure they keep everyone employed and bring people who they laid off back to work.
Well, it is, as I said, extraordinary what you've accomplished. Everyone I don't know that the Treasury has ever moved so quickly or been forced to do so quickly on such a mammoth scale. I know the banks are not exactly the most energized institutions in all of corporate America, in our business world, but for them to move this quickly to accommodate those in such desperate need is truly a remarkable and impressive feat. So turning to, if we may, the money center banks, the big banks, JP Morgan Chase saying they couldn't possibly be ready. Do you have a sense when all of those major, the big banks, if you will be able to come online?
So my understanding from J.P. Morgan, they were very worried about whether they were going to be ready today. My understanding is that they did take applications, so they were able to service their customers. And our expectation is starting next week, all the big banks. And let me just say also, a lot of this is done electronically so that small business doesn't have to come into branches. So again, we couldn't be more excited. And if we run out of money, we're going to go back to Congress and get more money for small business. So this is a great program with big bipartisan support.
Yeah. The Secretary of the Treasury knows where to look for that money. Indeed, it's unfortunately for so many, they've lost their jobs. We're looking at millions of people who will lose their jobs in the course of the weeks ahead. The money that you're moving out to them, separate from obviously the SBA lending, and keeping jobs. The specific purpose is to keep those jobs and people in those jobs through this crisis. How soon do you think that money will be available to the unemployed, and how quickly they'll have that money?
Well, the president has made very clear we got to be fast. It doesn't do anybody any good if these programs take too long. So the employee retention credits, we already have that up and running. That's $5,000 per person for any company that has retained people. They're able to get in a refundable credit immediately. I've committed that the economic impact payments, which are going to be direct deposit, that within 2 weeks, hardworking Americans where we have their information on file will get their direct deposit in 2 weeks, and we'll have a process to collect the rest of the information. And we're working with the state's unemployment to make sure that money gets out quickly. As you said, this is a unique situation. We've shut down the U.S. economy because of the virus, and we need to make sure we protect the workers.
Right. There's no question that you and the entire administration are working on Trump time. There's no better expression for how quickly and broadly you all work comprehensively. It's truly a stunning feat. I want to turn, if I may, to one other aspect, and I know you're pressed for time, but looking at the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve, looking at almost $6 trillion on that balance sheet now, that is that also is an awesome source of liquidity into this system. And you and Jerome Powell obviously are working hand in hand to meet this crisis. And your thoughts is on that relationship and the effectiveness of the Fed in your judgment so far?
I think the Fed is doing an extraordinary job. We just literally got off our daily call with the Fed for our two working teams that Chair Powell and I are on every day. We're in the process of designing programs with them very quickly. We're very focused on a Main Street lending program for those businesses that are above the SBA program and below the corporate program. We want to make sure that Main Street companies have access. And we're very focused on providing, as you said, an additional up to $4 trillion of liquidity to support American business and American workers.
Well, Mr. Secretary, I just want to congratulate you on an unprecedented and impressive performance to get all of this assistance, all of this money into the system so quickly. I am in awe that you and the administration have gotten it done so quickly. My congratulations to you and to President Trump for moving at Trump speed in the face of all the challenges you face. Thank you very much, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin.